from Screen Junkie Studios in the heart of Los Angeles, this is Screen Junkies Movie Fights. Now your host, Andy Signore.
Your mission, gentlemen.
I'm not Andy Signore. The opener said, here's your host, Andy Signore.
It's not
Nope,
me.
not today, because this is Movie Fights Live, and I'm your guest host, Doug Benson.
Yeah!
So right at the bottom of the screen, so it must be true. There's no fake news on Screen Junkies. I'm here promoting, I'm going to be the judge today for a what we like to call a joint edition of the show. Get it? Edition? I'm promoting my new show, The High Court, which is going to be on Comedy Central starting February 27th at midnight, after midnight. Write it down. It's confusing. We've got a very special lineup here today, and I'd like Andy to introduce everybody. Andy Signore, everybody.
I think JT had one too.
What's going on in there? From the word go.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to be here. I'm Andy Signore, and I'm happy to be partnered up with Mr. Horatio Sanz. Wow.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you.
Team Horatio.
Horatio Show podcast. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it perfectly.
Okay. Because it's spelled kind of like hooray.
It's Horatio.
Horatio.
It's Horatio.
Yeah.
See?
Okay. I like it.
We'll figure. I get a lot of confused people looking for the podcast that never find it, but it's okay because I really think it's clever.
That's awesome. So you're teaming up with Andy Signore.
Yeah, Andy Signore and I are teaming together.
Yeah, so we got like a pothead and a knothead.
Yes.
And
I'm very sober today, but I don't know if everyone else is today.
oh, that's how we were playing it? You're going to guess who's high and who isn't? That's fair. And on the other side, you want to introduce everybody else?
Dan
Hi,
Merle.
I'm Dan Merle, and I'm lucky enough to be paired up with Mr. Greg Proops today.
Yes,
Hello,
the
everybody.
Smartest Man in the World podcast.
Yes, that's right. We also call it a Proopcast because I thought it was clever. And a vodcast. And when we're in Oregon, a podcast. A potcast.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
you see what I
I
did?
didn't say I didn't know that. I thought you just said
Thank you.
podcast again.
It's not really for them, it's for
Yeah,
us.
that's what I thought you said podcast again, too.
All right, and how do you guys feel about teaming up today?
Groovy.
It'll be fun. I asked before the show if it was intentionally that they just paired us with our guest who we most resembled. So it's Andy, Horatio, and myself. and
Well,
Greg.
my son and I have been working together for years now, so I thought it'd be fun to do a show.
You know,
I just, when I picked the teams, I thought that the loudest person and the quietest person should be on the same team to balance each other out.
that's a good idea.
And then you guys are in the middle somewhere.
Okay. I was going to say, am I the loud one?
Am I the loud one?
No,
You're the
No,
quietest.
definitely.
Of the four at the table, you're the quietest, he's the loudest, and they're both somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Like, Goldilocks likes them the best.
Tell me about it.
Just right.
That's right.
All that
We're
porridge.
chubby foreigners,
Yeah.
you know?
But I'm just, I can't believe you got in the building.
Exactly.
I thought we had a new thing going on.
By the way, their group Chubby Foreigners is going out with our group White Backlash, and we're doing kind of a love tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like
yeah,
it.
we're only doing 2 cities, but it's kind of a tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's no love here today. This is a fight, you guys. You gotta battle it out. And on the couch, we have 2 fact checkers to keep things in order. We got Joe Starr and Lon Harris over there.
Hey, Doug Benson.
Hey, look at them with their headphones on.
Those guys are very photogenic.
You look like extras
Yeah.
in Hidden Figures.
Yeah. Thanks.
So,
You were an extra in Hidden Figures, weren't you?
I was.
Like map guy in the back.
Yeah, I was the scowling map
white
guy.
guys
Yeah.
with ties.
Get out of my NASA! That was me.
Yeah.
That was me. Doug, I haven't seen you since you fired me from Pitch Off. How you doing,
I don't.
man?
Fired's not the right word for it. I like to rotate my executive assistants
That's fair.
on the thing
That's
because
fair.
I like to give everybody in show business a chance.
An involuntary rotation. I get it. Guys, follow along on hashtag Movie Fights Live, and this is going to be real weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Why?
think so.
I think it'll be pretty normal. I'm always high when I'm on here anyway.
No, that's fair. That's completely
It's
If you-
always the
you're the
joint
fact-
edition with
Yeah.
As the factor, do you want to explain what's happening, Joe?
Yeah, tell us about
I just
what
got
kind of
here.
fact checking you're going to do.
So I'm fact checking as much as facts will come to play in this fight, and Lon is time checking.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Well, we've got chess timers here, so I'm going to be timing how long each individual fighter is speaking. So at the end of the round, we know who dominated the conversation.
Because if this fight needed anything, it's more rules.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
I
here's
don't
a
wanna get this
fact.
guy's
We've
alive
always
to
been
think
at war
about.
with Iran. Check that.
Yeah.
Joe,
Can you
what's
check that in that little machine?
I'm
you
on
got
this
there?
now. Is that a Kevin
On
Costner
that
movie?
chess timer?
Yes.
Hashtag MAGA. That's how you get the good stuff.
All right. Well, I wasn't paying attention to any of that, but I think I know how it works, and you guys will help me out every step of the way, I'm sure. The judging is the most important thing I'm here to do, because now that I'm a judge, a fake judge on TV, I just have to judge everything everywhere I go. I'm hoping for beauty pageants more than nerd fights, but we'll see how it goes as we move forward. You ready for round one?
Let's do
Bring it on.
Okay, I didn't know if I had to do it or if you guys did it. How do you decide which team goes first?
You're the boss.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
But to be clear, you should pay attention because you've partnered yourself with guests who may or may not, to clarify the rules at home, may or may not be on, other things. Dan and I are not. We want to make sure you are making sure we both equally contribute to each fight. I want to make sure that was the only rule that
you gotta
matters.
equally contribute, you guys.
Otherwise, we lose if our partner doesn't.
I wish I'd
That's
been
what
given.
the rule clocks are for. Yeah.
I wish I'd been given a pamphlet with some of the rules I could have skimmed before I got here.
JT, can you roll the scroll of the rules? Can you just read them real quick?
Price Waterhouse has a lot of the.
I was hoping to polish my antique lighters while you were
Wait,
giving away answers.
Like when you normally do this show, you stand around and explain to everybody how it's going to work. Was I supposed to do that?
Yeah, well, I
'Cause
just
I'm
tried
the
to right
host?
there.
No, I mean before the cameras even roll.
I know I talked to them and explained a little bit.
Okay.
So is talking about how we're going to play it part of the game, or is that not a rule?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm judging everything you do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, every step of the way.
I'm going to be funnier then.
Yeah, I'm going to be
I'm
more
already,
quiet.
I'm already holding Horatio's double gulp against him because I just don't approve of that.
It's really large.
I'm from New York City where we don't drink large sodas.
Yeah.
That's why I left.
That's why you got out of there?
Yeah, the only reason.
Fuck you, SNL.
Yeah, I quit SNL,
I
so
want
I-
to drink big sodas.
Yeah.
I love it. All right.
See how Bloomberg was trying to lay the slam down on my soda habit. I got it out.
All right. I think somebody more Hitler-y than him came along now, but we'll see. Let's start with Greg and
right.
Dan. You
Okay.
start us off. How long do they get to argue for?
As long as you want them to.
Okay, and I have to ring a bell when I want them to stop? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, but we're both going to do it. But
that's
let
right.
them start.
I get it. You're both going to go against at the same time, so I don't know why when I asked you who should go first, you didn't say we all go at the same time.
Well, but they'll do their opening argument first.
Okay.
But you have to tell them the
I
question.
don't know what do we answer.
I have nothing to argue at this point.
I want you to psychically figure out what the first topic is going to be.
Okay.
Now, the first question is, apparently Ben Affleck, he's done with Batman. Doesn't want to be Batman anymore.
Well, then it's unanimous. Next question is Batman.
We all
I
hate him.
apologize. He dropped out of directing the next Batman called The Batman.
Oh.
He was going to direct it, but I guess he's
I
still
guess we
going to
haven't
be in it.
explored that Batman saga enough.
Yeah. So who should direct the next the Batman? I'm calling it because they can't waste any time on titles. They got to just call it The Batman.
Well, we should note that we have not conferred prior to the show.
That's right.
I had a suggestion.
Go
I don't know
ahead.
if you agree with me that it should be David Fincher. But
Oh, I think
only
David Fincher should be a
perceive-
dandy choice.
I would
All
say,
right.
see, I
So you
think
guys will fight for David Fincher.
we will fight for David
Sure, he
Fincher.
brings
Yeah.
the mood and hopefully pacey and remove some of the dead weight and let's get to the action. And also he has a kind of a surreal motif that I think will enliven the moribund Batman series that Ben Affleck is so cavalierly ejected from his resume.
All right. That's their opening shot at you guys. They think that David Finch should do
got one
the
for
new
you, have one.
Batman.
I have one too, but should we talk
Let's say it at
about
the same time.
Oh, that's fun.
All right, at the count of three.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Scorsese.
J.J. Abrams.
I wanted to play too.
Want to shoot for it?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Shoot. I win.
You win. Go for it.
Kevin. Well, he picked J.J. Abrams. I picked Kevin Smith. Unless you hate it.
I don't hate it. I get compared to Kevin Smith a lot.
That's why you stopped wearing that hockey jersey.
Exactly. I can't wear my hockey jersey.
I don't think
anymore.
JJ has the heart to do it anymore after dealing with Marvel. So I'm gonna, or not JJ.
Okay,
JJ
we're
Abrams
not here to
with
argue
Star Wars.
about
But if you're up for it, I'm gonna say Kevin Smith.
Yeah, and you tell
Because
us why.
Kevin Smith actually cares about this material, and I think you need someone who's gonna step up against Warner Brothers to really actually get a good movie made. And I don't think someone like David Fincher is capable to be their bitch.
This is the most fallacious argument I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm astounded and gobsmacked.
I'm also outraged, and David Fincher knows Warner Brothers. He's worked with Warner Brothers and Ben Affleck in Gone Girl, and I think he's more than capable.
You forgot to say, and you, sir, know Warner Brothers.
And
when
you, sir, know Warner
Brothers.
You're not Jack, or the other ones.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith and Affleck go way back. We all know from what movie? One of those mall movies?
Chasing Amy.
Yeah, he hangs out with that skinny junkie kid. I mean, if you want to
no longer a junkie, but
want to keep Affleck in line, once a junkie, always a junkie. By the way, you're always a junkie in your heart, my man.
All right,
and
so I gotta take a point off you
stay
guys.
sober. So I think having that skinny guy around might intimidate Affleck, and so he'll Kevin Smith will be able to do what he needs to do.
Yeah, he could play the villain. That's cool too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, that's an argument. What do you guys think about that?
This reminds me of the diaries of desperate survivors of expeditions that failed. I just hear words, knowing that imminent demise is coming.
Also,
I need to know if that's a book or a movie.
I think what the
Screenplay.
what
Great.
the DCEU needs now is a director who won't get pushed around by the studio. I think David Ayer got pushed around by the studio on Suicide Squad, and it wasn't a very good movie. And I don't think David Fincher is going to be pushed around at all. That's what they need. They need a director who's got the.
He's unpushable.
He's
but
unpushable.
I gotta argue, Kevin Smith's pretty unpushable as well.
Yeah,
I
Kevin
think.
Smith's not pushable, but I feel like he's also a little bit not. I feel like Fincher's a diva in a way. Like he just has to have his auteur vision on it, which would make a good Batman. I just don't think it's realistic.
Oh, well.
I think Kevin has
concedes that
proved
point,
with
yes.
his directing The Flash and Supergirl and working with DC, he can get the important character and story elements through, and they can still be focused on the action sequences and stuff, which would be done by a stunt. The action units.
David Fincher does like 90 takes.
Yeah, can't afford that.
Affleck's not going to put up with that. He's like, listen, I got
That's
to
a
bang
good
my
point.
wife, I got to bang my mistress, I got all those other things I got to do.
Well, he put up with a lot of takes in Gone
slanders
Girl.
all junkies.
He was in Gone
Yeah,
Girl.
he goes after
so
what?
He was in Gone Girl.
He was,
So he
yes.
put up with Fincher on that movie.
That's right. He's already got the Fincher connection. They already like each
I
other.
just got
But
one
they
to
only
the
did
chin.
one. There's only one.
Oh, only one, all right.
First
Yeah,
of all,
they
they
work
conceded
together
that
one
David
time.
Fincher would make a better Batman movie, so I don't really see.
Did anybody say why Ben Affleck dropped out of directing the Batman?
I mean, nothing official.
He said he didn't think he could give both the performance required and the directorial talent required.
So
wanted
like
to
he went to a
focus-
screening of Live by Night and went, I can't do both of those jobs.
Talking about
That might have been the moment. Also, you guys are talking about character development, and my understanding is these are comic book movies.
Oh yes.
So like at the beginning of the
that's
movie,
what we like.
Batman
We like
has an axe to
good
grind
characters.
because his parents were killed, so he's an avenging crime fighter, and then at the end he has an axe to grind because his parents were killed and he's an avenging crime fighter. I don't really see Batman like from movie to movie like, you know what, I'm not going to crime fight for a while. I'm going to go to like Tahiti.
He tried to do that. The Christian Bale Batman tried to retire, but Alfred kept yelling
for
at
10
him.
minutes at the beginning of the
Alfred
first
kept
one.
crying and yelling, and next
Right,
thing
he
you
went
know,
to Tibet for
he's
half an
a
hour.
Superhero. Yeah, and he has to climb out of a hole.
Right.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And no one goes to Tibet on holiday.
But come on, aren't there a lot of good characters in the Dark Knight franchise?
They're great characters in the Dark Knight. I wanted to say it's a little distasteful that they bring up Alfred, knowing that the original Alfred died yesterday.
Wait a second.
He was 136 years old
The
when he passed.
original Alfred finally kicked
Yeah.
from the Batman TV show.
Yes.
Okay.
Can we get a fact check on
so
that?
That's
Oh,
distasteful.
I'm sure we will get a fact check on that.
Distasteful.
His fingers are going wild.
I haven't heard that news, but I'll trust Horatio.
Typing away over there. All right, well, so I can say that's enough arguing, or do I say one more?
If
You have one last thing to say?
If you have enough,
Yeah? Or do I ask you questions?
you can either ask for a
I'm
closing
just
if you need it,
excited
or
to get
if
to
you're
the
done.
fact checking.
Team Kevin Smith rests.
Oh, they rest. Okay, you got one more thing to say, you guys?
No, I'm good if you are. With all due respect to my opponents, I think our argument's been an overwhelming avalanche.
All right, well, I want to hear from the fact checkers. So that's the end of the round. Fact checker Joe.
Hi, Doug.
What's happening over there?
Got a couple suggestions for directors from Twitter. Matt Reeves, Catherine Bigelow, John Woo. Billy Polihan on Twitter says that he likes your shirt, Doug, and that you guys met in Chicago.
Whoa.
I'm sure you remember.
Hi.
Hey, buddy. And Horatio, the success rate of AA, according to an article from theatlantic.com, is somewhere between 5 and 10%.
Is it?
If you believe the Atlantic, man.
That's also drunks, not
Tell my ex-wife, baby.
No, I think what Horatio meant, though, is that the person is always that in spirit. Like, they could, they always have to be careful not to go back to being that.
Alan Napier, the original Alfred in the Batman series, did die recently in 1988.
Okay, so...
Well, it was true.
I got the date right, though, right?
Yesterday-ish.
Yesterday, yeah, like
on this
previously.
On this date in the year.
August 8th.
August 8th.
Yeah.
But, like, what's time?
Yeah, let's not even...
It's
I'm not
still-
worried about it. I'm not
Yeah.
judging anybody based on time.
I think when something's offensive, it's in the eye of the person who's offended. So
Yeah, it's right in their eye.
it's always going to be offensive what they did when they brought up that Alfred was dead. I'm high, by the way. Let's remember that we're doing this high edition.
I just don't
Just
want
to remind
any
the
of the
folks at
The fans did ask for it.
I don't want any of the other Alfreds to die. Not Michael Caine, not Ray Fiennes.
Was it Jeremy Irons?
Not Jeremy Irons. Yeah, I want them all. all those guys
Alfred
are
currently serving.
They always hire the great people to play Alfred now. Oh, except for the Tim Burton ones. He was played by Alfred.
Yeah,
All right, so
he's gone.
wait a second. Were there any facts to check?
No,
Or did
man,
you just tell us what they're saying on Twitter.
just out Twitter and Alfred and
Everything
AA
else was
statistics.
factually accurate.
Everything else, you guys are pretty.
It seemed right on to me.
Yeah,
All right.
Pretty
well,
clear cut, right?
it's an honest group.
I have to say that Andy's laughing at my notes because all I wrote down was -1 on his side. I wrote Smith, Fincher, -1 for Horatio and Andy. And, because I'm a go with my gut kind of judge. And, I'm going to change that to a -2 because I do think that just from the top of the argument down, I just have to go Fincher over Smith for this particular thing. Even though I'd love to see Kevin Smith direct one of these things, I think that'd be a lot of fun. But my decision is to go with Greg and Dan.
Thank you, Doug Benson. This is a lot of fun.
That's good. That's good.
Only
+1.
14 more to
Going
go.
into this
Yeah.
next round, Horatio and Andy have +1 because that was very, very nice to say that before the round begins.
Yeah.
Before we get into the ugliness, like one thing that people will be saying, I hope, on the internet is that a stone movie fight is a much more mellow affair than regular or drunken movie fights.
That's true.
Because I've been on the show before, and there's a lot of yelling, and this show, you guys no one even interrupted each other,
No.
It just
except to
gets
say, what do
started.
we think?
When
You
are we
interrupted
having-
each other.
Right.
Can we have peyote movie fight and like have a vision quest or whatever, and be in the desert and watch a movie on a rock or whatever?
If
And
you're
then
asking me personally,
no,
yes.
I'm just pointing to the whole group ratio. Wasn't it? So I don't think you have to sign off on this. You and I have no power over this at all. I'm requesting the movie fights people that be for peyote movie fight.
All right, who's going to start this next argument?
We're gonna have
round?
Molly movie
Next
fight.
round.
Christina Room full of fur.
Round 2.
Okay, we'll do
Who's
it.
going to argue first?
We'll do it.
You guys are first? Okay. What film from the last 5 years will inspire the most irritating nostalgia in about 20 years? So there's a little math on this one.
That's a lot of addition.
Film is going to come back. All right.
So from the last 5 years, I'd say from the last year or two, just to make it easier. Yeah, I'd hate for one of you to pick a movie that was from 5 months and 5 years ago. Missed the deadline. That's a good thing to fact check. See if these are both from the last 5 years. They're conferring. You guys conferred already? Might
we
as well
conferring?
all
Is there one
confer.
that you hated?
Oh golly!
You wouldn't want to see come back in 20 years?
While they're conferring, I'll
Yep.
Whistle a song from La La Land.
I'm sure I'll go.
Nostalgia of him would be really
No, I'm gonna need to.
We can hear us on Suicide Squad nostalgia. Do you like that?
All right, yeah, I can go Minions.
Or Minions? Minions. All right, we're ready.
Okay.
We're gonna go with the thing we're definitely gonna dislike the most in the future
Yeah.
would be Minions nostalgia.
Minions. I already have Minions nostalgia.
But imagine if
they
it's
were born dead to me.
It's been gone so long that they decide to reborn the Minions in a way that just makes us want to kill ourselves even further. Like, oh, remember how good that was? Because we remember now it wasn't good, right?
I never.
sometimes they say
I didn't like the
banana.
commercials, to be honest.
One of them says banana sometimes.
Yeah.
I love those little guys.
One of them's always like in the wrong place, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Are we doing this now?"
Yeah.
And the other one's like, "No."
Yeah, and sometimes their pants fall down, so you see a little minion butt.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Greg and Dan, what do you?
Go on, Dan.
What do you think people are going to be nostalgic for?
Greg-
It seems like it'd be real easy to win this one.
Greg and I conferred, and we believe that in 20 years, Greg feels very strongly about this, and I concur that Iron Man nostalgia will be very irritating in 20 years.
Oh
compared to where we are
wow!
right now.
Okay, Iron Man.
Yes.
Why will it? Why is that going to be irritating?
Well, people will be looking back at them and going, they were finely crafted movies. And maybe one of them was. How many are there? 8, 10?
Oh well, Iron Man shows up in here and there
Right,
in
he's
other
in,
ones, but he's had his own
People
3
Assemble
movies.
eventually and all those other ones.
Yeah, he's had his own 3. He's been in a couple Avengers and
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the sight of a man having a giant metal suit wrap around him again and again is not going to wear well with time.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
eventually, when that technology is an everyday thing, people will be completely bored with it and be like, wow, this is like watching a toaster mold.
That's true. Technology will have surpassed the Iron Man movies in 20 years, and they'll look positively dated, I think, compared to where we are now.
Also,
Right, but there's still stuff from
Gwyneth
20 years
Paltrow's in
ago that
them,
we watched that we
and-
enjoy that doesn't look that bad. 20 years isn't that, the leaps aren't going to be that big in 20 years, are
I
they?
don't know. Johnny
Well-
Mnemonic is pretty bad now.
Right?
Johnny Mnemonic is
Well,
not
you
very,
found
does
an
not hold
example,
up.
but there's stuff around the same time that have good effects.
Doug, you're
in it.
forgetting about the cataclysmic world events that are going to happen in the next 2 weeks that are going to.
Why am I arguing with these guys? What are
I'm
you
not sure.
arguing with them?
I don't know. I was waiting for the bell to ring.
No, you're going to just jump in and tell them why they're wrong about this, about Iron Man.
You know, I don't have children, but I may one day, and I can see in 20 years, like if he wants to wear an Iron Man dress or something, you know, that'll be less embarrassing than a Minions costume.
Yeah, agreed.
You know,
I like that. Why can't he wear an Iron Man dress? Iron Man is great. It has been great. At least yours was great. Minions has never been great.
And what is what is a minion it has to be asked.
Yeah.
To me, it's always seemed like part of an infection, like a culture that they just cut off a little piece of the cancer. It's like a cancer. They're little cancers, and so I've never really been a fan of them.
No. Who wants cancer?
Have you been on the ride at Universal? The Minions ride?
That one's good.
It's pretty fun, right?
Yeah.
So was the Iron Man.
Again, conceding their own argument.
I do.
I didn't go on the Iron Man ride, and it was on principle.
I don't think there is an Iron Man ride.
Exactly.
I think the children love Minions, and in 20 years they're going to look back and say, "Oh, look,
They still
I
love
remember when I
Minions.
watched this when I was a kid. Boy, I love this movie." And I feel like, especially speaking from someone who speaks in this on almost a daily basis, in 20 years I will look back on Iron Man and say that was a lot of time in my life that
Watching
I devoted
Iron
to
Man.
that.
And his son will go, this Iron Man dress is uncomfortable. I wish you'd forbidden me to wear it. And I wish I was wearing a Minions G-string.
This is really.
No,
this is
your kids are
interesting.
going to look back and be happy with Avengers. They're
You
not
guys
going to be
have
happy
chosen
with
two
Minions.
things that I
Oh, but
actually
kids
like.
won't remember it. We will. We will look back in 20 years and remember Iron Man and the Avengers.
But someone really cool might play Iron Man in the future, and that'll affect how cool
Yeah.
it is. Minion's always going to be Minion. It's never going to get cool. if I-
That's an interesting point.
I'm a
Because I have been
rapper, you know,
worried
they can't
about
do
the
that.
recasting of Iron Man because I feel someone else would just be, it just wouldn't be as fun as the Robert Downey Jr. version
Well,
of
he
it.
is a junkie. Let's not forget.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, yeah, that's
There
right.
you go.
Yeah.
-2.
Wait, you're going to keep scoring now?
No, I just gave myself -2.
All right. This is a
better
tough
write
one for
notes.
me, you guys. Does anybody else have anything else they want to add? Have we argued about this enough?
I
Has it
think
gotten heated enough?
I think as a kid's movie, it's like Space Jam. We just discovered. You look back on it, and it doesn't actually. It's not as good as you remember it. I think Iron Man will hold up, and we will be like, that was a good thing we're proud of. You will not be proud of Minions.
I think
they are cancers, as my partner said.
We have seen with the trailer for Space Jam, everyone yelled at us in the comments for talking crap about that movie because they still love it 20 years later. Whereas with comic book movies, they come out and people love them, and they don't hold up 3 months later when we do the honest trailer. They come out and everyone yells at us because we say they're not so great, and then by the time we do the honest trailer, everyone says, "You're right, that movie sucks." Short shelf life.
Yeah.
They also hated the Minions honest trailer because they hate the Minions.
And honest trailers is one of those frustrating things because when you love the movie and then you start hearing all this stuff, you're like, well, I guess that's true. I guess that's a reason to hate it, but I love it. And so it gets tricky. So
honest or just mellow harsher?
What?
Just a mellow harsh.
Yeah, that's what it is sometimes. They're really good though.
But everything would be bad if there weren't
Especially
critics.
if you don't like a movie, you watch that honest trailer, it really feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good to watch it get torn up. All right, so that's the end of that, I guess. Those are such fierce competitors. I can't. My head is spinning. Let's go to the couch.
Not a lot to fact check, Doug Benson.
I know. No, these guys aren't using facts. They're just using pure emotion.
Feelings.
Yeah,
And feelings are important. On Twitter, tiny little cancers seem to win a lot of Twitter points online. So I think Horatio
A lot of smiley face emoticons.
Yeah,
a
lot of emojis and
you,
just
guys.
a lot of celebratory pictures of Greg Proops wearing hats on Who's Line. Like we're getting a lot of that today. And,
That's got to be some interesting stuff.
Pictures of Greg in hats.
Yeah.
Yes, we play a game called Hats, and it's always amusing.
Did you have to wear something that resembled an Iron Man hat?
I'm
at some
certain we
point?
did at some point.
Somebody will find that picture and throw it up there. Or a Minion hat.
No, there was no Minion hats. We haven't done Minion hats yet, but I'm certain that's in the offing due to its immense popularity.
That's all you got, Joe?
That's all I got, man.
All right.
They're
Are
keeping
there
it.
polls?
Yeah, there's polls.
Oh, there's also online
there
polls. if you
Serbs
wanna-
and Croats?
Tell us about one of the
We're doing
polls.
some surveys. Do you want it after you judge, or do you want it to influence?
I like doing it after I judge, maybe.
All right, let's do that.
Let's see what happens there. Because, I know you guys don't get to, you have to kind of confer and just pick something, but I just feel like these guys get the edge for picking something that's already got some people irritated, whereas Iron Man, everybody's pretty chill with it, I thought, for the most part, that people like it. And so, obviously, I don't think either of those things are going to be irritating in 20 years, but, who's going to be around for that? So I'm not going to get to say I told you so, but here today I get to decide, and I am fighting on behalf of Andy and Horatio for one point. So we got it tied up at a point apiece. And what's going on in the polls?
Doug, would it surprise you if I told you that the Screen Junkies fan base seems to think Iron Man's still going to be really great in 20 years?
I
would it
wouldn't be
shock
surprised
you?
by that.
Minions took that at 68%.
That's
to be-
shockingly low. I thought it would be like 85%.
This is a travesty of a sham.
But yeah, I'm just sad. I'm just a little sad to hear the Den's already down on Iron Man because he's my favorite of all the current Marvel characters.
Thank
And
you.
I like the new Spider-Man.
And the two of them are together.
Right?
That's great.
Yeah.
Iron Spider-Man?
I love Iron Man now. It's just putting yourself in the 20 years from
Yeah,
now.
no, I figured out the premise of the
Well,
thing.
apparently the people that took the poll weren't able to do those mental gymnastics and arrive at the same conclusion that we were.
All right,
Apparently they're
so
clutching to some nostalgic 2016 straw.
you'll all have a second to confer, but we'll start with Greg and Dan. Will come out with their first decision and argument in round 3. Oh, and I should have said who these Twitter people are that are suggesting these things. Oh, there wasn't one on that last one, but this one is Travis O of Marvel. Yeah, so now we got a guy from
Yep,
Marvel who's probably
big
pissed
fan.
at you.
A
for
big
your
fan of the show.
comments. All right, which 2 celebrities would you want to see become gigantic and fight in a city? King Kong versus Godzilla style. Which
So we're
one?
picking stars.
Yes,
Huh?
2
Yeah,
celebrities.
2 stars.
Here,
So
you pick one and I'll
you
pick
might
the
want
other
to
one.
whisper in each other's ears on this one, because this is a tricky one. You got to come up with 2 celebrities. If I were playing, I'll tell you who mine are after you guys say who yours are.
Go ahead.
Oh, I can tell you now? Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I'd have them fight like that. Because I
took
like when
mine.
they fight in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And now, it's bigger than life because they're, they really are fighting in real life.
All right, we're ready.
I thought, okay.
Greg and I work.
You guys
on
are faster
We work
at
on
it.
a subconscious level.
Okay.
We don't. It's very short conferences.
Over on
and
this
then
side, it's just Horatio going, how about Harold Kumar?
All I need is yours.
How about Cheech and Chong? No. All right, but you guys have to go first anyway. So Greg
do.
and Dan.
I will.
Who
Greg,
would you like to see
No,
fight?
you go first.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Who's fighting over the city?
My gladiator is the lovely and talented Meryl Streep, and
I picked Carla Gugino. I'm joking.
You each picked
No, The Rock.
Meryl Streep and
Meryl
The Rock.
Streep and The Rock.
Yes.
Think about it.
I
got chills.
Unfortunately, have to now. I'm forced to think about it. And why did you each
Why?
chose a person and set them to each other and then agreed that they should fight?
We both conferred and thought this would be one of the most dynamic Hollywood matchup you could possibly imagine. It would be Meryl Streep and The Rock.
Okay.
Someone who has won multiple Oscars versus someone who it is likely, and I'm just prognosticating a little here, may never win an Oscar.
Right. Seems
So-
unlikely.
It's really a battle of.
Unless he gets like some great old man role.
Right. Well, maybe in 20 years'
could
time, when they
happen.
do Minions 5 and Iron Man 66, The Rock can be Gramps.
Yes.
Gramps.
We have an answer.
Yeah, I think that was a little obvious. I'm gonna pick a.
You guys
I'm gonna
were-
pick
Well, I
a star.
thought Minions was a little obvious, but I held
I'm
it to
gonna pick a
myself.
star. Well, The Rock. The Rock's pretty obvious. I'm gonna pick a star though.
The Rock does seem like he'd get big and fight over a
Yeah.
city. Seems like something.
Oh, I see. Did I miss the subtle intricacies of that game? Well, 4 fucking give me. You said who'd fight over a city. The Rock would fight over a city.
Right?
If I picked Ricky Schroeder, you'd be like, what a douche.
Ricky Schroeder. Should we change?
The Rock is only a few different chemicals from almost getting there. So, you see, our choice, you wouldn't imagine it. It would be so interesting.
I can't wait to
I'm
hear
ready
it.
to have my mind blown.
Okay.
Well, I'm
here
gonna
we
pick
go.
another famous person, very popular, the beautiful, talented Jennifer Lawrence.
Right, he's
J-Law?
only been in about a million sci-fi
Yeah.
movies, so like
Sure.
she would never destroy a city.
no.
That was
Never been made
completely
huge.
out of left field.
Never been made
Yeah.
big. Jennifer Lawrence. Never been made big. Never fought over a city. That's my fake Trump.
She did fight over a
no.
pile of food that was in boxes.
Speaking of fighting over food,
She was a joy in that one
we
film.
were
I can't
thinking
remember
of
the time.
we were thinking how awesome it would be to see Monique and Jennifer Lawrence fight over a city.
Oh, Monique.
Stepping on buildings, knocking
Okay,
over,
we got a
stepping
couple of
on
Oscar
libraries.
winners fighting in
Throwing a
dresses,
McDonald's,
like
like-
in gowns,
No, no.
like dressed up like they were at the Oscars.
Yeah.
And then they go outside
Oscar
and
gown.
fight.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. I don't want to come up with all these ideas for you, but
That seems like you
that's
like
how
it.
I picture
it seems like you're already on board.
I picture The Rock in a gown also.
Yeah,
Could be
everyone.
like a kilt or a gladiator thing. And then Meryl Streep.
Yes.
Interesting.
Well, the fun thing is, of course, that Meryl Streep obviously would win this fight, and that's the interesting part.
How
is
did
The
she
Rock-
get big? Did she was she working
Acting.
in a nuclear power plant and she got exposed and
That's-
then she became giant?
No, that's how good Meryl Streep
is this
is.
a de facto sequel to Silkwood?
If Meryl Streep believes that she is 100 feet tall, she becomes 100 feet tall. That's how good of an actress she is.
She's as tall as she
good.
wants to be.
She's as
Played
tall
a
as she wants
Jewish
to be.
man in that one thing.
Right.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
can do anything.
In our story, Monique eats the battery of a Prius. and just it's a massive
Well, I thought-
monstrosity.
Sure, I like that too. But then Wayne Zielinski's there because they're doing like a nostalgic "Honey, I Shrunk the Kids" thing at the Oscars, which sends them both, blows them up like in the movie too, while she's eating the battery of the Prius.
That's the name of the character from the Honey I Shrunk
Yeah.
the movies.
It's
Rick
Rick
Moranis,
Moranis' character.
Wayne
Yeah,
Zielinski.
Wayne
movies?
Zielinski.
All right, that's
Well, in ours, The Rock actually gets smaller, and that's what makes Meryl Streep look big. He finds some old Play-Doh, and there's a chemical reaction, and he's like, Rock's getting smaller, and then all of a sudden it's, Rock's getting smaller, and then Meryl Streep comes in, and she's Lithuanian or one of the Baltic countries in this one, no one's sure. And I think there's going to be both tears and laughter. I think Monique is a gimmicky choice, and I think it's let's be honest. I think it's foul play. I don't want to accuse the other team of colluding, but I think it's cheating.
she is an Oscar winner.
Yeah.
Well, all right, then Viola Davis.
We countered.
Oh, no, she's an Oscar nominee.
We thought about the Oscar situation with Meryl Streep's Oscars. We're like, who can we pick? Who's won an Oscar? Monique.
Well, you see, you picked two people who both have Oscars.
Yeah,
And what
double
we've done
Oscar
is
power.
counterbalance it by having someone who's likely, in a Chuck Norrisy way, to never kind of win an Oscar.
That's a source of conflict, really,
Well,
in a way. The person was
also
all
thought how
of
And
cool
then at
to
the end, the
see-
resolution.
Yeah.
To see Monique's crack, like bending over to pick up, City Hall, or one of Jennifer Aniston's Buick-sized boobs pops out of a gown while she's helping a whole group of school kids on a bus get out of the inner city, please.
All right. Does anybody have anything they're dying to add?
I just think a chance to see The Rock react emotionally to being small is an opportunity we don't want to
No, that
pass up as
does. I
cinema
do
goers.
like that.
And
Very
a
compelling.
chance for Meryl Streep to kind of get out of her safety zone and wear an eye patch for once.
Look,
Oh, eye
the
patch.
question does say which two celebrities have to become gigantic. So you got to play by the rules and
No, but
making him
he's saying
small.
that she's going to become more gigantic than
Yeah, but he's
going to
become
Rock.
small then.
No,
so
he's
technically,
become smaller than
I Kobayashi
Meryl Streep.
Maru'd your ass on this one, so I would look to the stars for the answer.
I mean, Monique is a great
understand any of
villain.
that.
She can throw frying pans at
Oh yeah,
them.
she's good at
She's
domestic
really
abuse.
vicious. You're gonna want to see that in their gowns.
Their Iron Man gowns?
No, just their Oscar gowns, right?
Yeah, the Oscar gowns. No undies, please. That's
right,
what I
let's
say
go
when
to
I
the-
direct the Oscars.
Let's go to the couch.
No
and
undies,
see
gang.
If you've got anything that can help me here.
Yeah. Fact check.
These are two,
Wait, can I
these are
go
two
pee?
wonderful movies.
Can
that
I go
hope-
pee while this is being fact checked?
What?
Can I go pee?
You need a pee
I'm gonna
break?
have to pee. Sorry.
Yeah, he's got to
Let's
do it.
figure
Look
it
at this
out.
thing he's fucking drinking.
His thingy.
That gulp.
Just throw that out while he's gone.
Doug,
If it
please follow
helps,
him.
Yeah, it's a good thing the bathroom's real quick to get to here.
Horatio's
You don't have to
gone
go through a
forever.
security door or anything. All right, so tell us about the facts.
Look, man, if it helps, The Rock, while there's no Oscars there, he was nominated for 4 Kids' Choice Awards and won one of them for favorite
So
male
kids-
butt kicker in
so
2013.
Kids choose him.
Yeah, for Journey to the Mysterious Island. So, there's some award caliber
That
there.
movie was family fun.
Yeah, great family
He
fun.
bounced a macadamia off of one of his pecs.
It was great.
Real
We were
talented
aware of
guy.
that.
I'll just fact check your last statement. The fact that The Rock can bounce a macadamia nut off of his pec is great. It is an opinion and wildly subjective. What's great was like a speech by Abraham Lincoln or like a snowy evening in the Rockies, a devastating sunset in the South Sea. That's great. The Rock being able to bounce a macadamia nut off his pecs speaks volumes to the pageant that is your life. So I'll just do a little fact check. And Monique is a great villain is also a highly subjective comment. We've never seen her play,
Well, we never seen her play a likable person, right?
villain.
She's the villain in
Precious.
Precious by the
Sure.
book called
Okay, so
Sapphire.
novel,
Some novel
In a movie where
Sapphire.
monsters are battling over a city, I don't think
a pretty
caustic
bad
looks are
monster.
gonna.
Yeah, she was intense, man. All right, so that's all you got?
That's all I got, man.
Well, Horatio got back in time though, so that worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't want to miss
Said
anything.
a lot of terrible things about you while you were gone, Horatio.
How
Joe
the
did,
internet?
Joe
Did the
did.
internet say nice things about me?
The
Oh, what's the
always
internet
says-
saying?
What
What are
okay.
the polls saying? I want to know before I decide.
You want to
on
know
this
the
one.
poll before this
Yeah, I
time?
can't make up my mind. These are two great movies we have here.
It was neck and neck for a little while, but I don't. Something about the school bus must have just kind of taken you guys off your side because it's 29% Jennifer Lawrence and Monique, 71% Meryl Streep and The Rock.
Neck and neck.
It
was
was,
at some
and then
point.
and
Oh, I
then
see.
things ran
Oh,
away.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh,
Meryl
neck
Streep
and
pulled
neck, and
away.
then something happened. There was a turn.
Yeah.
I think
Probably
she
Greg's
bounced.
speech while Horatio was in the can
Yeah.
is probably what turned it all around. So point to Greg and Dan.
All right.
Yeah. They put that up on the thing,
Scoreboard.
scoreboard thingy. And so we got you guys have 2 to their 1. We're playing 70 rounds. Let's go with round 4. Suggested by Birdman_CR. Which you think is, you think it'd be a question about, well, maybe it is, so I won't say it. Start with you guys, but confer first.
Ooh.
Who's the greatest living actor? Birdman wants to know. I would guess his favorite is Michael Keaton. If he named himself Birdman.
Could be Stephen Colbert, Harvey Birdman.
Stephen Colbert is Harvey Birdman. Good point, Lon. Thank you.
Robert De Niro.
A lot of whispering. Doug, how have you been? Oh,
Yeah.
pretty good. Spend most of my
I
time
don't think it does, but
just shopping for loud coats, and I think I've done a good job.
It's a full-time job.
I'll go ahead.
It's something I've always appreciated about you is your loud coats.
I'm a loud coat wearer.
Yeah, I like it.
This thing's so comfortable. It's just like walking around with
Do you think
a comforter on.
Do you think Ross or Burlington better place for loud coats?
Oh, probably Ross. I haven't set foot in either place.
Like,
Burlington's a whole
When I heard Burlington ran out of Bane coats, I stopped going there.
that's fair.
All right,
We're ready.
you conferred.
Go ahead, Horatio.
What do you got, fellas?
We're gonna go with De Niro, Robert De Niro.
Robert
Uh-oh.
That's a
De
curveball.
Niro.
Yeah.
That's a curveball.
On the eve of the release of a new De Niro film called The Comedian.
No, what about
Second time he's played a comedian in film.
You make a cameo in that, right?
Not my favorite, but
I
yeah,
don't,
I'll
but
Denzel?
plenty of
Yeah,
people
Denzel.
do.
I would love you to be.
I'd
I'm
be
so sad
happy
you're not
to be
in it.
that. I'm sad I'm not in it. That's why I'm going to hate it. I sit there the whole time going, I'm not in this. It's about comedians. Where am I?
I'm in Moonlight.
All right.
Which scene?
Part.
I'm one of the guys that drives, almost drives off the road.
Oh, in that scene where there isn't any moonlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Moonlight.
Yeah, there's no moonlight, so you're just like, "Ah," almost off the road.
We,
Hey, fellas.
we have conferred and decided that we're going to go with.
Denzel Washington.
Whoa. I thought that one might come.
We have to be honest. We're leaning toward Robert De Niro. And in full disclosure, we heard them say Robert De Niro, and we're like, okay, then we'll go.
I mean, so they're kind of admitting that he's the best.
Yeah, they're
Well, no, it was we were glad that they said Robert De Niro because it reminded
'Cause it
us
made
that
you go,
we
"Let's really
actually
think
thought
about
that
this for a
Denzel
second."
Washington was the best living actor.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And is currently making better movies.
Yes, Oscar nominated currently.
That's what you're saying, is that Denzel's still on the top of his game.
He is.
But can he say forget about it?
I think he probably
I
can.
think
Yeah, I
he
think
could
he
say
can.
it, sure.
You think
Yeah.
in a convincing way?
Sell it? No.
No.
Say it,
And
yes.
who can? Robert De Niro.
Yeah. Was Denzel in The Godfather too? No. Or Raging Bull? Taxi Driver? I mean, these are classics.
To be fair, Denzel was also not in The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle or Dirty Grandpa or
Oh,
any
I
of
He was
see.
in
I see the ways you
Virtuosity.
guys. I
He
see
was
what's happening
in-
here.
he
You're
was
gonna
in,
go.
yeah.
You're gonna go low. I mean high, and he's gonna go low.
I'm just saying that
You're
they
saying the
both
hits,
have
and he's saying the
greats.
Oh,
failures.
Denzel's
They both
got
have
some
hits and
non-hits.
failures.
They both have hits
Fallen,
and failures.
Virtuosity.
Yeah, let's go through all of them.
Sit here and do that back and forth.
Take
Well,
that
let's
back
not.
about
The
Fallen.
Pelican Brief's not very good.
That's an interesting question, though. Do you think the whole
Magnificent
argument
Seven
should be
was terrible.
about whether or not their films are any good? Like, can't you just judge the man?
I think you just judge the man personally.
think you gotta- I think you gotta-
I think Denzel's always good, but De Niro was bad in that one movie.
No, but you gotta take the best of their work and lift it up and ask which really is the best. And I would argue that De Niro's got at least 5-6 movies that I think are even beat hands down against better than Denzel's best.
Well, but movies are not just about the lead actor in them. For example, De Niro is very good in The Godfather Part 2, but I think Al Pacino is probably the reason why that movie is the best. I don't think you can take the entire film and say that my actor's better because they have more well-respected films. I think Denzel has a legacy of being consistently great for, 30-plus years
absolutely.
now.
Here's another thing: De Niro plays supporting roles frequently. Denzel Washington doesn't mess with that shit. He's like,
No, but he messes
I'm
up
the
with
lead
bad
character
remakes like
every
Magnificent
time.
Seven, which was garbage.
Oh.
and he
Was it
phoned it in.
garbage?
Yeah, phoned it in. He didn't
But he's great
know what he
in
was
them.
doing.
He's
He
great in
likes
them.
working
No,
with
he's
that
not.
freakwa.
He does the same character now. It's just like, I'm Denzel. I'm going to just phone it in.
Man, I hope you
Talk
don't have
like
to meet
this.
him one day.
yeah, that's gonna be ugly.
We're tired of seeing movies where he's throwing basketballs against people's heads.
Right? Yeah, that happened.
It's,
in,
De Niro's only been in a couple movies where someone throws a basketball at someone's head. Well, that was one is Robert Duvall.
Oh, this is gonna go against De Niro in my mind. He is the star. He is the lunatic in the movie called The Fan.
Yes.
So that's good,
And
right?
he's a knife salesman who gets obsessed with Wesley Snipes and tries to kill him during a rainy baseball game.
He was also great in Cape Fear.
Did I say he was great in The Fan?
Yeah,
just added, and he was also great.
Denzel is great in bad movies. I would not say that De Niro is great in bad movies.
De Niro's good in comedies. Analyze This was actually funny. Meet the Parents was actually funny. What's the Denzel comedy? He's known shown range.
Carbon Copy.
Yeah, no, it's De Niro hasn't been in a great movie in
Silver Linings Playbook.
Years.
He was pretty great. He was
Does
nominated for an
somebody
Oscar.
have to be good at comedy to be a good?
I don't think
considered
so.
The greatest
I don't think
actor?
they have to be great at
Brando
comedy.
funny?
Denzel, watch Denzel. Like the thing is, Denzel finds the comedy. Denzel finds the comedy in dramatic roles.
He does. His character in Fences laughs a lot.
So funny.
He finds it and puts it in a trash can. You heard me.
De Niro was nominated for an Oscar, Silver Linings Playbook, recently.
Denzel's won too.
Yeah,
Just so
Denzel's
you're knocking his
on the verge of
early
becoming
work.
All right, then
one
Max
of the
went
7
Cena.
people who's won 3 Best Actors.
Now you
And Denzel will be the first black actor to get 3 Best Actor Oscars if he pulls it off with Fences, which he might now because he won the Screen Actors Guild. All right, so any last? This is certainly one of the toughest battles I can imagine people having to go through.
Very difficult to argue who's a better actor. What is it? Greatest is the
greatest living actor.
the criterion.
They've both been
greatest
great
is
movies
a
dumb movies.
difficult measure.
They've both directed stuff.
They have.
Yeah.
But I would say that Denzel is. De Niro has. If we're gonna say who's gonna leave a bigger legacy, maybe
It's De
that's a
Niro.
fight. But
Yes,
if we're saying
it's
who's
De
the
Niro.
greatest living actor today,
It's De Niro.
consistency.
No, it's De Niro.
And the
definitely
amount
De
of
Niro.
great performances that they're still delivering.
Definitely
it's
De Niro.
Denzel. It's not. It's Denzel.
No, it's
it was
definitely
De
De
Niro
Niro.
back in maybe 1995. But
Because
right
De
now it's
Niro
Denzel.
has, they've yet to list any of his good movies for the record, whereas I already have. We got Taxi Driver, we got Raging Bull, we got King of Comedy, we got Analyze
You think
This,
they need
Meet
to
the
tell
Parents.
me that Denzel
Well, they
Washington's
didn't
got
do
good
it. They
movies?
didn't do
Glory.
it. Well, now he's
Training
doing it
Day.
because I keep pushing him, but we could go all day about De Niro and his performances that range from
De Niro,
comedy
that's right. I
to
forgot
drama.
Who was fighting for what?
They keep falling back on the movies though, and we keep talking about the
No,
performances.
those are
That's the
Oscar-winning
difference.
performances, and a lot of them too. So
Yeah, a lot of them.
Or a lot of
He
them.
won Oscars for a lot of them.
2 of them.
He's
that's a lot.
yeah,
That's exactly how many Denzel has.
yeah. They're neck and neck on that one. They're very similar in many ways, except for how different they are. All right.
Bronx Tale, very underrated director.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
you
great
snuck
film.
that one in there. Do you want to sneak in a great movie
No, I know
that
because
Denzel
I don't
directed?
feel we need to name movies to make
no.
our point.
Denzel
We're just showing
directed-
It was like when
Denzel directed Fences.
when Joe DiMaggio and Willie Mays were alive, they were like, "Who's the greatest living ball player?" And it was Willie Mays because he was still playing. And I rest my case. I went to the world of sports for your internet people out there.
All right, so
Joe DiMaggio, the first OJ, by the way.
How so?
He killed her. Killed her with heartbreak.
they're both great actors. I can't even. It's so hard to make this decision. But
I would have also thrown in Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
He's
You
in just as
would've-
many great movies as anybody.
oh,
Or Max
okay.
Lucado, or Maggie Smith.
Oh, okay.
We're all alive.
Yeah, no, this is a lot of great actors. First person I thought of is dead though. Peter O'Toole.
Yeah, I know. He crossed my mind, and I
Right.
thought I just passed.
He's the great one.
He
of the
right
great
when
ones.
Alfred did.
But here's where I stand on this: is that as much as I love De Niro, he has become a little bit more of a caricature of himself than Denzel has at least at this point. And like I said earlier, I think I make a good point when I say that Denzel is still like the lead and everything, and now he directed Fences, and you know. Look at all those Oscar nominations it's got, and De Niro's sitting over there going, well, The Comedian opens on Friday. So I'm going to go with Greg and Dan and say Denzel Washington.
He's just mad he's not in it, right?
Plus, there's
Yeah.
a podcast called Denzel Washington is the greatest actor of all time, period. So once there's a podcast called that, it's kind of hard to... This was kind of a silly argument to even try to make. There's no similar De Niro podcast. All right, let's look at the scoreboard. It's up there.
3-1.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
So
So,
Horatio, we got to get this last one.
so this round,
We
what
work on
happens
this.
if you get it? Does
Well, we got the speed round right after this. so
okay? So it's a good. You got to try to catch up a little bit, but you can always
Max
get
is
it in
gonna
the
bring in the
speed
speed
round.
round. Here you go.
Okay.
Here we go.
I mean the final round.
Oh, this is it's a blind. That's right.
So yeah, I'll help. I don't want him to drop them. Yeah.
Oh, I see. You guys need to pick out of the hat.
All right.
And
You want us to pick
wait,
first?
Why do we have 3 hats?
Because there's one from each hat.
Yeah.
Ready? Pick one.
Oh, I see. Now I get it. There's an actor, a non-acting celebrity, and a genre in these 3 Screen
pick
Junkies
from each
hats.
I'll pick.
And
pick out of this
you need
one.
to get it. You end up getting a combination of them all, and then pitch.
And then what happens?
Then you gotta basically tell us why that would be
Wait, we take 2?
Right.
better
3
than
total.
the other
So that's who
team's
needs to star in it.
combination.
Oh, I mean this is great. Right?
Yeah.
That's the.
Basically, you're pitching
yeah.
a movie with this
We gotta pitch a
concept
movie.
and actors.
We gotta pitch a movie with those 2 stars.
We say
and
more.
their genre. I mean,
That's-
that's easy. You got this. Think about it.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Start over there with Greg
I
and
mean, they just handed
Dan.
us the win. I think.
Who'd you get?
We have Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in the history of the British Empire, Viola Davis, and then together they're in a globe-trotting action adventure, which I nominate to be called The Lady and the Queen. And you'll find that Queen Elizabeth, even at her advanced years, is going to be pretty lively in this one. Viola Davis is sassy, streetwise, and full of the kind of support that Queen Elizabeth needs as a detached, rich person as they trot around the world, fighting crime and meeting dudes, and getting drunk, and at one point riding a mammoth.
Do you agree with all of that, Dan?
I do. I would
Okay.
also like to point out
You
that
have the
Queen
same
Elizabeth
thoughts?
does her own stunts and has since the 50s.
Queen Elizabeth was in the service in World War II, and her mother drank gallons of alcohol every day and died at the age of 102. So I think Queen Elizabeth, not only for this one, the globetrotting action adventure, The Queen and the Lady, but Queen and the Lady 2, and then Queen and the Lady 3. This time she's really a lady. That's how much gas Queen Elizabeth II
You've
has
already
in
got a
it.
trilogy mapped out.
I'm telling you, I think she
picked
can
some
go
names
another
out of a
10
hat. And
years.
you've invented a trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay.
We like to call it a tetralogy, but we don't know what that means.
Horatio and Andy,
You got this. You want to
tell us who you got.
We have a romantic comedy.
No, sorry. It's a steamy romantic thriller.
Oh yeah, sorry. Still works. Sorry, fellas. I love this building and I love what you guys make. Okay. We have a steamy romantic thriller starring Triumph the Insult Comic Dog and Margot Robbie.
Which one of those is not an actor?
Insult comic dog. He's a puppet.
Dude, the people that put this together realize that he's not actually
I wouldn't call him a
real dog.
non-acting celebrity, though. I mean, he's
certainly
always acting when he's
Okay,
in
well let's
things,
say
right?
it's Robert then. Robert
Okay.
Smigel.
Okay.
But with
Robert
the puppet
Smigel
on his hand.
and-
Or-
yeah.
With a puppet on his hand.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so do you have a title for this thing yet?
Yeah, so it's going to be called My Love to Poop On.
Oh, okay.
But we want to treat this very serious, like the relationship between
'cause
an
there's
animal
no-
and a human being.
Comedy's not in the thing at all. Just
There's a lot of mystery. Like, what is this? Is this a dog or is it a puppet of a dog? And who am I falling in love with? The dog or the guy underneath the dog? And so this goes on, and people, they really do feel the love between these things. And I think now in these days of banning Muslims and all this Trump nonsense, people are going to want to see dogs fucking ladies. And
steamy romantic thriller. I'm really seeing this. I'm really seeing like that. You see
Yeah.
Smigel and you see the dog on
Well,
his
it's very
hand.
taboo, right? So
And then he gets involved with Margot Robbie, and she probably falls in love with him one more than the other.
yes. Yes.
And then you gotta. I'm sorry to help these guys with their
No,
pitch so
he's
much.
got the-
again.
She loves
They
the
don't need any
puppet.
help. Their premise for the movie is the worst thing I've ever heard in the history of my life. Even as a joke, that one ran foul.
Triumph, of course, is a comedian.
I
working
don't
in
want to see a
clubs.
puppet on top of Margot Robbie. I don't want
we
to
would
imagine it,
definitely
and I don't
have
think anyone
Doug
who's
Benson.
on Earth does.
We'll have Doug Benson working at the
I'm
club.
going to
where
lay
Triumph
back on
works.
this one.
Oh, I got a part in this one too.
See
get
what you've
this,
done? Now you're
get
having to
this.
bribe the judge with a role in
Doug
this thing.
Benson plays a
smart.
cocktail waitress.
Oh, I like it.
Oh no, but there's gonna be a really steamy scene with that puppet going and kissing her on her neck and the body.
Yeah, well, Greg's made
gonna be-
it.
That is
abundantly clear he
repulsive
does not
beyond
wanna
all
see
measure.
that.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yuck. And to the maximum power
cigar's
yuck.
gonna
And to
keep
the
falling
infinite
out.
power yuck.
The cigar keeps falling out, and then there'll be Clinton jokes and stuff.
I'm going to have you guys arrested for even saying this.
She's not
It's not a
doing
real
nudity
dog.
anymore
it's a
anyway.
puppet.
She needs to do, and she needs
Look,
to
I
do.
think
I'm not
this
really
is-
going to have you
I think
arrested. It was
Greg's
an empty
hatred-
threat.
Greg's hatred's only helping you, Horatio, because this is what people who want to have sex with puppets have to deal with on a regular basis.
It's
This
2017, man.
yeah, this hatred. I mean,
I think that the rights
too
of
long we've
puppet
labored under
fuckers are
that.
about to get rolled back.
If you vote for us, I'll donate $50 to ACLU. And I dare everyone to match me with that donation.
Dan and I, if you vote for
Oh, here
us,
we go.
are going to go to Chick-fil-A because we're anti-gay marriage.
Oh, wait. That seems surprising.
That was counterintuitive, much like the puppet making love to Margot Robbie.
I thought you were going to say, much like the puppet running our country.
plus, there's going to be a scene where Triumph asks her to dress up like Harley Quinn.
Oh, okay. So Margot
then-
Robbie is
I don't
playing
think-
herself
Serious
in this
cosplay.
now.
That can't compete with the scene where Viola Davis, it is revealed, speaks Russian and talks their way out of the terse embassy scene, and then Queen Elizabeth jumps out of a Zeppelin and wastes a whole bunch of Red Guard.
I like that.
It's excitement, it's adventure.
That sounds fun.
It's really a celebration of the monarch and everything she's accomplished.
Well, and then at the
Yawn.
end, they write an
Yawn,
award-winning...
right? Sounds boring, doesn't it?
Yeah, this sounds
I mean,
like
just falling asleep.
Schnoozoville.
Who doesn't want to watch a puppet poop on Margot Robbie's stomach?
Guys who aren't pervs who sit in their room gaming all day.
Excuse me, sir?
People who don't live in their grandmother's basement with all of the Force Awakens action figures gathered around them like an awards banquet. That's who wants to see that fucking movie.
That's a lot of people. I gotta say, I mean,
Guys who smell bad and go to Comic-Con and dress like Jabba.
Well, that's us. We do that, to be fair.
this is the
That's what I
opposite
mean.
of the problem.
I think he's doing.
This is the opposite of the problem for me of the Denzel and De Niro argument. Is I don't
How
wanna-
highfalutin this argument
I don't
is.
want to see either of these movies.
Oh, I dare
Yeah,
that
you
you
do.
do. You do
I
want to see
haven't-
one out of
Queen and the
curiosity.
Lady 2 has extra laughs because Kevin Hart's in that one too.
Yeah, well, okay.
The Queen and Lady 2 is called Ride Along.
Queen and Lady 2, Ride Along.
Yeah,
Wait up, Queen!
exactly.
All right.
And she's like, one is not
That's not
amused.
helping
And he's
at
like,
all.
which one?
At the end, they catch Jeff Dunham jerking off in the hotel bathroom,
And they arrest him.
and he's arrested.
Yeah, for indecent
Then
exposure.
he finds out he's the one that's been sending Margot Robbie pictures of Triumph.
Oh, okay.
Wow, thriller. I mean, whoa.
Let's get Shyamalan on this one with that twist.
If you want him there, sure.
I like my
No one will see it coming.
martinis like that. With a
the
Shyamalan
Shyamalan?
twist.
With a surprise ending.
I think Horatio gets more high as he sits not smoking. Because we haven't smoked since the show started, as you can
Or
see.
in the
this
Bank
is
of
live.
USA building in Beverly Hills, so we can't smoke within 1,000 feet of the entrance. So I had to eat marijuana. I had to pull marijuana out of the ground and eat it.
All right. Well, I want to pull one team closer to the other.
Is this the lightning round, by the way?
We still have to do that. I was just reading up on it while you guys were talking about Zeppelins. What do we got over on the couch? Anything to add to this?
You know, the only real fact is Elizabeth II was in World War II, and Viola Davis went to college and maybe studied Russian. There's a possibility.
Okay.
That's all I got for you, Doug.
All right.
Also, I really like Zeppelins.
Yeah, see?
Okay. What are the people saying? What kind of poll situation we got going on this?
Oh, they don't matter. Let's see. The poll is the poll is also supporting Dan and Greg. 71% for
Prefer
the Lady
the-
and the Queen.
Prefer the Queen and the
To
thing.
29%.
Yeah. I'm
Did
just
the poll
Barely
have-
kinky
Did the
movie
poll
fans.
have the actors in it?
I don't really agree
Or just the
with
titles?
Oh, just your names.
Yeah.
Oh, just the team names?
So, to be fair, a lot of people voting probably aren't actually watching this, and they're just going.
Wait, they don't know that it has
these
Triumph
names
and
sound
Margot
fun.
Robbie in
Yeah.
it.
Oh, okay.
Don't try to pull that old gambit. The people who vote are watching.
Yeah, there's
they
a
know
lot
what's
of voter
going.
fraud here.
You know
on,
exactly. There doesn't have to be a
so-
recount.
Yeah.
This isn't a Jill Stein election.
Hack skiing in
no.
the voting.
Overall, though, Twitter really appreciates how chill this is.
Oh, good. They
very chill.
appreciate there's no yelling
Yeah.
at the joint edition. Okay, so I'm going to go with, because I don't generally like what the public likes, so I'm going to go with, what is it to poop on?
My love.
My love to poop on. This is the worst thing I've ever decided.
I was
said
going to say,
okay
I've
to.
never been this disappointed with you, Jack,
I
in our
know,
long
right?
friendship.
But also, they can't. You've got 3 points, and they have now.
Yeah, I
got-
understand why you're doing it.
make it
I understand
exciting.
what you're doing. We got a lightning
I'll
round
take
coming
it.
up.
So now they have 2 to your 3. And
Wait, can we go back to that and ask Nunez? Can you take a picture of the scoreboard? Thanks, man.
Great
We're
show
gonna take
as
a
a
picture
friend
of it.
here. Just gonna take a picture of the current score. Is this like what are you gonna do with this? You're just excited to be almost tied?
I just want
All right, we
people.
got
I
it.
just want, just in case some weird shit happens in the next couple minutes, I want there to be a record of what the score was.
What once
okay.
was,
Yeah.
All right.
We were
where it once
close.
stood.
We were very close. once.
Yeah. Your hair's breath.
All right. Here's the rules. You go. Each team has a chance to earn 5 more points and win the game.
What?
Yeah. That's how speed rounds are, man. They almost make everything that happened before it irrelevant.
Why can't we play movie fight speed round next time? I'm
Just
joking,
the whole
of course.
time. Here's how it works. I ask a question, then we're looking for the fastest answer. I know, right? And then follow-ups. What does that mean?
So they'll have 20 seconds and then 10-second follow-ups.
Oh, okay.
They'll be keeping the clock on the couch.
All right. So, why do we need the fastest answer gets to go first? Is that why you want
Whatever
to
you hear
fast?
first goes first.
Oh, you get dibs on that too, because
yeah.
sometimes it will be like De Niro, Washington, like where you guys got
Okay.
screwed by them picking before you. Actually, it worked out for you, but you know what I mean. All right. Where do I get the questions from?
Next page. I don't
Nice.
know. Look.
Yeah. Is there an appointed answerer
Yeah,
in each
so
round?
we can
or?
still confer. Like the last game we did doubles. But you want to go? I'll go. I think we should go first. So they
Go
can see how
first,
it
and then we'll
works.
confer with
Confer and try to answer fast.
Yeah.
Is
Dan
that
and I
how it
will
works?
nominate ourselves first,
Yes.
To answer
and
fast.
then you guys will do the next one.
Yes.
What if I know it though?
You can still chime in with Dan.
Okay.
You think?
Alrighty, are you ready?
All right.
We got this.
Most realistic stoned movie performance.
Jeff Bridges, Big Lebowski.
You okay with that?
Oh yeah.
Matthew McConaughey, Dazed and Confused.
Okay. And then now what happens? 20 seconds each.
We counter that?
Yeah, he's gonna.
So we argue for hours, and then also
Oh, I
why,
see.
why theirs is
Yeah,
why
you
is
get
ours
20
better?
seconds.
do you want to share?
What's that?
Do you want to share? He's allowed if he wants
Yeah,
to.
of course. Yeah.
Share what?
You have 20
Our
seconds for us
time,
both
yeah.
to talk.
We can both. We have 20
Oh
seconds. We
yes,
can
of
both
course.
argue. Yeah.
Well, obviously, The Big Lebowski is the ultimate stone performance. He's looking for Wade through the whole movie. It's not in a Cheech and Chong style. It's done within the context of a detective story, and it has every kind of supportive character, and is an engaging film. And that's not the point of the movie. Whereas Dazed and Confused is a little more of a hash, in my opinion, and high school reminiscence.
That was a hot 20. Counter argument, go.
Well, first I'd like to say I don't think he was looking for pot in the movie. He was trying to find that Lebowski, the money, right? So anyway, let's talk about why
Why
ours is
McConaughey is
pot.
That was a
better,
waste
yes.
of 10 seconds.
McConaughey in that movie made him a superstar. That was so good that even pot smokers
realistic.
were like, "That's real. He must be smoking that." Right?
All right, 10-second follow-up.
I think I've met a lot of stoners that act like Jeff Bridges. Matthew McConaughey is just acting like Matthew McConaughey. He wasn't doing. He was drinking. He was like, hey,
he's a
Matthew
stoner,
McConaughey's
right?
doing him. He wasn't even acting. It was just him being himself.
Counter argument.
He is, I think, because he is a stoner, and that's a very relatable performance. And the whole, the girls younger like him, like that was just a creepy high school stoner character that I think screamed realistic versus Lebowski, who is just a character.
All right, so I let you go a couple seconds long, so it was fine. Listen, you guys.
What's the next question?
The most realistic,
This is a lightning
the
round.
most realistic Stone performance in a movie is Brad Pitt in True Romance.
I've regretted not saying that.
because he's barely in it, and that's realistic. But do I go to the couch at all for any information, or just
They can
just
tell you.
decide
They
on
can
my
help.
own?
They can help make a ruling with you.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
I like that counter that Matthew McConaughey's a stoner, so it worked in his favor. So I gotta go Matthew McConaughey.
But that also, to me is like that's what's part of the greatness of Jeff Bridges, and I'm pretty sure Jeff Bridges is
Yeah.
smoked a
indulges.
smoked a bit in his time, like right before the SAG Awards the other night. Yeah, he was so happy to be there. I'm gonna have to go with. I feel this is my determining reason. I feel that it feels like you see Lebowski smoke weed more often than you see McConaughey smoke weed. So I think it's more of a stoner character. So I'm going with Jeff Bridges and Dan and Greg. So that's one for you guys.
That's from Dan.
I don't know where to write down one, but I guess they got it up there. They got it.
They'll tell us when to stop.
All right, next one. You guys got to have the first quick response to this question.
Okay, let's do it.
What movie would be most improved if instead of guns, everyone fought with magic?
Instead of guns.
Instead of guns, think of a movie that's got lots of guns in
What would be
it.
improved?
Let's put magic in there.
Oh, this is tough. I don't want to substitute any movie with guns for magic.
Now you have to.
Instead of guns.
The most chill episode of movie fights ever.
We got it. We got
True
it.
story.
We got it.
What do you got? Who you going with?
Horatio's doing this then.
American Sniper.
Dan
I will
and Greg.
likewise cede to Greg.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Greg,
He's right about that.
right?
Well, we had Saving Private Ryan, but we may even just concede them this point.
Saving Private Ryan. I just want to hear more about that.
Me too.
So, all right. So,
you will.
20 seconds to
us first.
Horatio and Andy. Go.
You talking to me?
You.
I mean, the movie's, no disrespect to the true story, but it's a little slow. It's got fake babies in it. I think you could liven that movie up a lot by adding some serious magic spells to take out all the bad guys. It would really liven up the energy of that film and give Bradley Cooper something to do.
20 seconds. Opening argument.
Well, it's well known that the Nazi high command were all occultists, and I don't think it's a big leap for them to be storming the beach at Normandy and have them be met with a battery of witches and familiars. And I think it would have cut down on the carnage in the movie, and it would have shortened World War II. And I think it would have been a public service. And I think that anyone who doesn't think that way is worse than Hitler.
Sounds like a lot of alternative facts to me.
I didn't hear the Hitler part because it was after the bell.
Yeah.
10-second
And
rebuttal.
So, in this day and age, this with the facts that are then the fake facts that are happening these days, what says peace more than dealing with your enemies with magic? Dealing with your enemies.
10 seconds.
I believe Raiders of the Lost Ark set a great precedent for movies that dealt with the Nazi regime's love of magic, and this could be a worthy follow-up to that, building on the steps of Steven Spielberg's earlier film.
I believe the Raiders are future. You said that sentence. Okay, so they conceded it at the top, so let's just call it. Point to Andy and Horatio for
Ooh,
finally
we're still in
fixing
this.
American Sniper and making it the kind of movie I'd like to see. All right.
How many more of these are there?
Three, up to three more.
We got enough to keep it exciting and maybe do a tiebreaker.
Oh, golly.
Here we go. Channing Tatum or Zac Efron?
Channing Tatum.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they picked Channing Tatum, so you guys are stuck with Zac Efron.
All right, we can live with that.
All right, but they have to talk about him first. 20 seconds about Zac.
But I feel like Channing Tatum is the better
Channing
actor.
Tatum.
He's the funnier actor. He can do more roles. He can do action. He can do movies like Magic Mike, or he can do comedies like 21 and 22 Jump Street. He's got more range. Zac Efron plays the hunky second lead in comedies. That seems to be like the only thing he can do. Channing Tatum is much more multi-talented.
Guys, can you argue that point that Channing Tatum is much more talented? Go.
He's not much more talented.
No, I think he's more handsome, but he's more handsome. He's not as good actor. He doesn't have the range of our guy.
Yeah, I mean, me and Orson, the Orson Welles movie showed some really good dramatic range, and Neighbors 2 showed his comedic chops. I'd say better than even Channing Tatum. Jonah Hill got a lot more comedy in those movies, and he didn't do Jupiter Ascending, which was complete just. What the hell was he considering with those elf ears?
That's a great argument that Zac Efron is not in Jupiter Ascending.
I think it speaks to the caliber of Channing Tatum that visionary directors like the Wachowskis approached him to do Jupiter Ascending. I guarantee you they would never extend such an offer to Mr. Zac Efron because our guy has much more talent.
Wow. I'd say shots fired, but it's more like magic.
Well, our guy doesn't have to take his shirt off in 9 movies to be successful.
Oh, which guy is yours?
4?
Yeah, I think they.
Well, he does, but he gets put with The Rock in Baywatch, which is the new Summer Temple Baywatch.
That's going to need a fact check.
They're neck and neck in the shirtless department, so that was not a good argument.
He's definitely better with the shirt off.
They both have to take their shirt off in
Magic
everything
Mike.
they're ever
Magic
in.
Mike, there's been like 3 of them.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
There's been
chest.
2 of them, but I think they're gonna do it on stage next.
Ooh,
Sorry,
cool.
On stage. All right.
We can be like
I gotta
grumpy
make a
patrons.
decision. This is what's making the speed round seem slow is the talk in between each round. And
Sorry.
no, it felt like Greg wanted it to move along. That's why.
Go on.
All right, Greg.
I ain't got nowhere to
Which
be.
one do you think is better?
Well, ours.
I'm just gonna ask you. You're the smartest man in the world. Why am I bothering to?
I think it's patently obvious.
Walk around
Channing
the room.
Tatum. I mean, this isn't.
I have to say, I like both of those dudes in spite of the shirtlessness.
I
think
like
they
Zac
both-
Efron. He seems like a nice person. I
I
understand
liked
he's
him a
wonderful
lot
to
in
his family.
17
and,
again. I thought he did a good job of being a young Matthew Perry. I thought Channing Tatum is like you said about some great directors turn to Channing Tatum and say, hey, come be in my movie. So there must be something there, right? Coen Brothers, he's in Hail Caesar. He has a cute little dance number as a sailor suit. Who am I fighting for right now?
You fight for that other
I like
guy.
these both these guys, but I have to say, if I had to pick one I like better, I'll say Channing Tatum. Whose team
Does
is
that mean they
That
win?
was us.
So
I think
that takes them all the way to the win.
means,
They've got 5. It's 5-3.
with 2 questions left.
Are there 2 questions left?
2 questions
Oh,
left.
so you guys can
Oh, so
still
we
tie
have-
this up.
Are there
Sudden
2 left?
death. Yes, sudden death. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to get these to.
We'll go faster, we'll go faster.
you have to win 3 in a row to win the game.
Yes.
And you guys are first on this next one.
Sure.
Well, no, it's speed round. It's whoever says it first.
Oh. I thought we've just been going back and forth
No,
still,
no,
just because
no.
it's hard to confer and yell
No,
first.
it's whoever gets a title out first.
Okay, sorry.
Sure.
Now that we're 4 questions in, I'm getting this. Best movie featuring Vince Vaughn.
Swingers.
Go on, yeah.
Sorry, I just said it.
No, it's good answer.
Going through the Vince Vaughn Rolodex in my head, as
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, sure,
As
pick
I
one.
do every day. I'll say it's.
Don't say Fred Claus.
Damn it. No, I'll say Old School.
They get the point. That movie's better. What? Yeah, they don't need
He's
to,
doing
they
the
don't need to
same
talk about
character
it.
that was Bill Borden in Swingers.
We don't need to talk about it. All right.
It's over.
Nice judging.
Well, I'm glad you spit around, but at least admit Swingers is better.
Then Old School? I like Old School.
Vince Vaughn movie, yes.
And Swingers is fun too, though. But I like Old School.
Yay!
Nice one.
They win.
Sean William Scott gets a tranquilizer, or no, Will Ferrell gets a tranquilizer dot in his neck, and Sean William Scott goes, wow, or something like that, and it's fun. Eddie Pepitone's in it. Is Eddie Pepitone in Swingers?
Yeah.
Might be.
Fact check, no. No, he's not.
Oh, you're really fast on the fact check.
We know where
That was pretty
Pepitone.
I know
good.
Pepitone.
Lon does have Eddie Pepitone's
Well, John
filmography.
Favreau directed it, right?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He wrote it.
Doug
Doug
Liman
Liman.
did. He was a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
director.
All
Doug
right,
Liman's one of my
Favreau's
favorite directors.
Iron Man.
I like his
Yeah,
work.
there's a lot of good things we could have said, but it doesn't matter. We're over.
The internship.
I just felt like just ending it.
It's clear.
You did the right thing.
I just,
Now what
Wanna,
happens? Do
let
we
them,
wanna-
let them do their plugs.
yeah, you got
Oh, okay.
stuff you want to people to check out. Starting with Greg Proops.
All right. I'll be at the Irvine Improv on February 8th, doing the podcast there, The Smartest Man in the World. Then we'll be at the Bar Lubitsch on the 13th, and like that. Then you can go on gregproops.com and get it for free.
I don't use butt plugs. So,
Thank you for that frank confession.
That's fair.
so I have
Thank
no
you for being
preference,
honest
really,
with us.
you know,
We're
like-
still on. We're still on.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, we don't do the plugs just amongst ourselves.
Okay, sorry.
What do
So,
you like to plug?
Well, in that case,
your butt.
Gonzalez butt plugs. Always durable. You can put it in the microwave. So I'd like to plug that butt plug.
Okay.
Oh, and the Horatio.
Yeah. It's a podcast.
Ratio, yeah.
Horatio.
Good luck finding it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
When you find it,
And I'd like to plug the High Court. When does it air, Doug?
Oh, thank you for plugging my show. It's on Comedy Central starting on February 27th at midnight at midnight. 11 Central. Yeah, in some parts of the
On
country,
midnight,
at midnight's
at
on at 10:30. Doesn't even
That
end
seems
around
counterintuitive.
midnight. Yeah, it's tricky, but we'll get through it. And Dan, what do you got to say for yourself?
It's a pleasure being paired up with Greg today.
Right?
It was fun playing the game.
Thank you,
I had
son.
a great time. Thank you for coming in, Dad, and playing the game with me. It's a great bonding experience
Yeah, it
for the
was.
two of us.
It was like when we went fishing that time in Tahoe.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks to our fact checkers, Joe Starr and Lon Harris. Great job over there, guys. It's
Thank
almost
you.
like you
Thanks,
weren't
Doug
here.
Benson.
And really
Don't
appreciate
forget to
all
check
your
out
work.
Pitch Off on Screen Junkies Plus.
Yep.
Pitch Off, yeah, it's
Yeah.
my show over there, and it's edited, so it's a lot less long pauses like today. But yeah, thanks to everybody for participating in this.
Thank you.
We had fun, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Woohoo! And we'll be live after the fight after this. Thanks, everybody.
What? Wait, there's more?
Bye.
Every podcast we put on YouTube comes with this kick-ass graphic listing all the topics your favorite Screen Junkies podcasters are talking about. If you click the topics, you can skip around and choose your own podcast battle royale. Go ahead, try them all. If you haven't already, subscribe to Screen Junkies on YouTube to join us for future fights. Or if you prefer to listen on iTunes, click the logo to download an audio version.